Welcome to part 2 of our 5-day solar cruise through the Finnish archipelago, where we're aiming to reach 200 nautical miles on a single charge of our battery. We just finished day 3 and we've gone nearly 140 nautical miles. We still have 60 miles to go and only have 16% charge left on our batteries. Join us as we finish the trip and see if we can make it all the way. This is our little cabin. This is where we stayed last night. Very cozy. This little cabin is actually the sauna. And it's actually in the traditional style, where there's not an electric heater, it's a wood-fired sauna. Oh, it's already nice and hot here. Water there. Feel the heat. All right, so it's a little afternoon, like 12:30. We just left our cabin, so we needed to charge the boat, which just means really letting it sit in the sun. So this morning we had a pretty enjoyable morning. We did some sauna, we did some swimming, had a really great breakfast of salmon and eggs, and now we're getting going, just afternoon here. So we're gonna head down to the boat and see what the charge state is. So we did pretty good. Right now we're at 400 watts going back into the battery, and we got here last night, we had 16%, and now we're up to just above 20%. We should have about 21% battery when we leave, which is great.
Now we're meeting a really nice boat.
Is that one of those old traditional boats?
One of the old traditional boats.
Very cool. Beautiful wood tar pitch boat, traditional design.
You smell the tar.
Oh yeah. So heading out day 4, we had a great time on the island this morning, hanging out. We're charged back up to about 21%. The battery just from the boat sitting there, pretty awesome. We got 5% charge back, and so we should easily be able to make our 40 miles today, and then we'll have one more day of cruising where we should be able to top the 200 mark. So the plan for today is to go from our cabin in Köpmanholmen past Jakobstad to a restaurant for lunch in Hästö, and then turn around and go back the same way, where we'll spend the night again in Köpmanholmen. In total, that should be about 30 nautical miles. So right now, the battery is showing 52.7 volts. Hard to see that. There you go. 52.7 volts. And when we left, we had 54.
Yeah, it's fully charged. It's 54.4 approximately.
54.4 volts, which means that's fully charged on the battery. And last night we were down to
51.5 when we arrived.
Yeah, and now back up to 52.7. So that's a pretty significant gain. And so you're saying that you look at this meter here, it tells you what's coming in, but actually it's charging the batteries more efficiently.
Exactly. You have another benefit from having these solar panels on the boat. So even if you're consuming more power than the panels are charging, so you are using the battery, the benefit from the panels are that you're keeping a bit of a higher voltage in the battery. So as the panels are always charging, they're helping to boost the voltage of the battery and keep a bit higher voltage, which means you're using less current a lower current from the battery, and you're actually increasing the efficiency of the battery.
Normally, when you do a range calculation for an electric boat, it's actually pretty easy. You just you set your cruise speed, you look at what you're consuming, and then you divide that by the battery size, and that gives you a pretty accurate, rough calculation of how far you can go. But with this boat, it's
it's more complicated than that. If we had done that at the beginning, we'd already be out of battery, basically. And it's so it's, I don't know, that's something to, maybe you already understand how to do a range calculation. You of course have to factor in the weather, so it changes, but you can't do the basic calculation because you're almost always getting charge put back into the battery.
Yeah. I mean, when you're driving this boat at top speed or at like planing speeds, then you can really do the same type of calculations. You just see the consumption and divide it by the battery size, and then you get quite an exact range. But it's when we drop it down to slower speeds that it gets really interesting, because as we've said, you're actually able to get an infinite range. And when you learn to know the boat, you know exactly how to drive it to reach the perfect speed in those certain conditions. So it's a bit of a learning curve, but if you just take the time to learn it, you will have a boat that you never need to charge, never need to fuel, and can use whenever and wherever.
So on this boat, you know, if you need a panel replacement, you know, how complicated is it to change one of these panels? Do you need an electrical engineer to come and do it?
Definitely not. This whole boat has been built really to make it as easy as possible to service and maintain. There are several reasons why we are using several small panels instead of like one or two large ones. But one of them is the serviceability, that it's really easy to replace the panels. So these panels come as ready modules. They are glued to the deck or to the roof. So if you need to replace them, all you do is cut them off from the deck or the roof. They're glued there. When you have the panel is removed, you disconnect two cables. You only have two cables beneath every panel. And then when you get the new panel, you connect the cables, glue it in place, and that's it.
So after Nautor Swan, we made basically a perpendicular turn to the wind, and right now we're actually heading in that direction. But because the wind is coming this way, we have to angle against the wind. But the really interesting thing is right now we're making 2.8 knots, and we're charging. Putting energy back into the battery. I'm not really sure why that's happening, but it is. Battery's being topped off right now, and then yeah, we're making way, tracking in that direction.
A little bit of sun on the roof.
We're getting partial sun. This little gap here. See our Latin long there. 63 degrees. So we're going back into this lake now. Okay, I'm starting to repeat myself now, but we've currently gone 8.6 nautical miles today, and it's this combination of just being pushed a little bit by the wind and all the solar we're getting, but you can see we're basically consuming 0 watts total battery consumption today. The screen shuts off if there's no charge being drawn, so it's off now, so you just have to tap it to turn it on. But you know, we started off with 21%. We have 20.7%. That means we've consumed 0.3% of the battery, which when you do the math is we've consumed 90 watt hours to go. 90 watt hours to go 8.6 nautical miles today. amazing. That's like the same amount of energy to run 2 light bulbs for an hour. We've got 11 miles on the lake, and this is somebody's really cool little private island where they have their summer house and sauna. And look at the tree. Yeah, again, we rolled into the island yesterday with like 16% battery. The sun charged us up to 21%. We're still at 20% battery, and we've gone 12 miles. We made it to Hästö, tied up the boat, and headed up to the restaurant for lunch. Made it to shore, we just tied up, and we're gonna visit, we're gonna have lunch here. And I think Emil's brothers are gonna be joining us. Emil's doing some marketing. Yeah, we just finished up lunch, headed back on the boat for some more cruising. After our lunch break, we are back up at 19% battery, 19.9. So we gained almost a percent back from just hanging out and having lunch. So we're heading out of the lake now.
Now we're still in the lake. We're gonna go just to another canal here and have a look at what's on the other side.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We're exploring.
We're just exploring, yeah. But after this, we'll be headed out of the lake, back to the sea, back to our cabin.
Yeah, that's right. We're trying to. This is a range challenge, so. We've kind of run out of known areas, I guess, and now we're doing some exploration of this lake. And it's a big lake, and there's lots of pretty interesting areas, so we're keeping it at it.
Okay, one of the things that I've done here since I've been in Jakobstad, actually before the trip, is we visited a couple of shipyards that are local here, Baltic Yachts and OQS. And both of them are building really beautiful sailboats out of carbon fiber. And carbon fiber is it's a popular material that's it's talked a lot about, and a lot of manufacturers are looking at building in carbon fiber. But there are issues with it. The benefits are that it's significantly lighter. It's a strong material. It's a stiff material. That can be a benefit. It can be also a bit of a detriment, but mostly it's the weight savings of the material, which is significant. That's the major benefit. However, when you're dealing with electric boats, really any yachts, but especially electric boats, there's the main issue is that carbon fiber is conductive. So you really have to think about your voltages and isolation and whatnot. And you want to talk about why you chose to use glass for your boat?
Yeah, no, you actually mentioned the main reasons. So, the benefit of carbon, like you said, is weight saving. That's the main benefit. On this boat we're on now, Amber, we could save approximately 80 kilos of weight by replacing glass fiber with carbon. But then again, it would complicate things a lot. It would be a much more complicated design, and the assembly process would be much more complicated. So to start off with, you would have to paint the hull instead of using gel coat. And then as it's carbon fiber is a good conductor, you have to insulate all metallic components. So no metal is touching the hull, because otherwise you will get galvanic currents and galvanic corrosion. And also, of course, on an electric boat, there's always a risk that something might happen. And if you get a current in the hull or any part of the boat, it's not a very fun experience. So that's why we're choosing to use a more neutral material, even though it's it's a bit heavier, but it just follows our philosophy of keeping things simple and reliable.
And yeah, I mean, we were just talking about materials to build boats, and fiberglass is hard to beat in for a lot of reasons. It's robust, it's strong, it's flexible. Yeah, I mean, it's a great material, and carbon fiber, well, you know, it has obvious advantages. It was pretty amazing to see at these shipyards building these boats how everything had to be isolated. So every component had basically a fiberglass layer between all metal, and you know, any component of the entire hull, which was, you know, carbon fiber. I know one of the companies actually had a meter attached to the hull, which is reading if there's any current at all running through the hull, which is like a critical thing to do. But then you have to also worry about, like, over time and over the boats being used, you know, are those isolation layers breaking down? So it's it certainly has benefits, but it has its challenges as well. So it's
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's later in the evening now on day 4, and our battery just hit 16.1%. And yesterday when we pulled in to our island, we had hit 16.1%, and then we hung out in the morning and charged back up, and wait for this jet ski to go by here. So anyway, we are, what's our total? We're at
22.8.
22.8 miles. So last night as we pulled in, our battery was down to 16.1%. We hung out in the morning a little bit, we relaxed, the boat charged itself back up to 21%, and we've been driving around all day since. And now we've covered about 21 miles. Is that right?
22.8.
22.8, almost 23 miles today. 23 miles, and we're back to the same charge that we had last night. Which basically means we've drove more than 20 miles for free on no fuel, nothing, and we're at the same charge state. We are approaching the lock here, just exiting the lake and heading back out into the sea. The sun's almost setting now. It's almost midnight. We're still going. We're actually right in front of this sailing yacht building company, Nautor Swan. They build some beautiful sailboats, and it's rumored that a certain Hollywood actor recently came here from certain Top Gun type movies and bought one of these. And I believe his is being built right now. Potentially. This is their 128 footer. That's the first Nautor Swan. Wow. That's their Coast Guard, or sort of not Coast Guard, but search and rescue craft there. That's their other boat there. Yeah, and here in Jakobstad, there's four shipbuilders. There's Nautor Swan, Baltic Yachts, OQS, and a little company called Helvenin. We're almost back. Way off in the distance. Right
5 back on our island. Nice moon out tonight. Okay, we're starting day 5 and we're just saying goodbye to our little cabin here. One last grab of everything. We actually stayed here 2 nights because we just liked it so much. So got all the dishes done, and we're just grabbing the last of our things here. And I think we're good here. So we did another swim and a sauna this morning. But the really interesting thing is, we're getting ready to go now. We got here 2 days ago with about 16% battery, and we cruised all day yesterday, and the battery now is at 14%. Yeah, so like I said, this is day 5, and essentially we arrived here 2 days ago with about 16% battery, and we cruised all day yesterday. We did about 34 nautical miles, and now we're at 14%. Hop on board here. Let's take a look. Okay. So right now we're charging with about 460 watts, a little less than half a kilowatt. And state of charge, we can see that 14.2%. 14.2. Today was our last day of cruising, and we still had 30 nautical miles to go. The plan for today was to leave our island at Kolpmanholmen, head to Mässkär Island for lunch, and explore around a little bit. Then afterwards, since we were going to run the battery down low, we'd head to Jakobstad and just basically do circles in front of it until we reached our 200 nautical miles. Hear the wind rustle through the reeds, not covered up by an engine noise. We are pulling back into Mässkär, and we are gonna jump out, grab some lunch, charge the boat a bit under the sunshine, and put the drone up and get a couple of shots. And then the plan is to cruise around. We sort of have been everywhere that we kind of want to go, and now we just need the mileage to hit our goal. So we're going to be doing circles or something like that. We might even visit a wooden shipyard later, see what we can see there. That's the plan. We made it to lunch at Mässkär, and after we had some time to walk around and explore the island. The tower in Mässkär was built in 1856 and completely built out of timber around a single center log. 1800s? Before radar and communication with ships, they just had to be up in the tower and watch for ships coming in. Look at this mooring job. Ah, that's so fun. It's angled. No, why did we moor up like that?
Why did we moor up like this? We really angled the boat so we would get the best angle of sunshine. So we get a little bit higher efficiency from the boat when the sun is hitting the panels in the right angle. So it wasn't just boring job. It was actually, it was planned. It had a purpose to it.
So we're leaving Mässkär and we're going 3 knots. 3 knots, right? Oh, 2.8 knots, and we're charging the battery kind of perpendicular to the wind here.
Later that afternoon, we arrived in front of Jakobstad with another 25 nautical miles to go. And it also happened to be a beautiful summer sunny day, and people were just out loving it, just enjoying themselves, and it was pretty fun to watch. It was also the scene of some beautiful wooden boats.
Okay, how many miles are we at now?
Right now we're at 170 something, 76 I think.
All right.
So we're missing like 24 miles.
So we need 24 miles, and we've explored just about all the archipelago now, and potentially we might be running the battery down pretty low. So essentially what we're gonna do is there's a circle down here to just come up and around and then back and up and around until we get our 200 plus miles.
Exactly.
We'll keep an eye on the state of charge. Right now we're looking pretty good. It's around 10% and doesn't seem to be dropping much from there. But that's the plan for the next 6 hours.
6 hours
doing
or
loops.
so.
Doing loops. Okay, we pulled into this fuel station to get fuel. But we're getting it from that big ball of fire right there. Yeah, so sun is getting low. I think it's about 7 o'clock or so. And they have a little snack shop here. So we're gonna grab some snacks. And actually, this, as we're not moving, it boosts the voltage and boosts efficiency a bit. So we'll go get some coffee, a few more snacks, because we have like probably 5 more hours to go.
Kan gärna ta som take away. Okej. Okej. Suveränt. Tack så mycket.
Vet ni vad de visste? Det har
Yes,
gått mycket
exakt.
åt, men
Ja, men här finns
hoppas
nog.
ni hittar något som ni gillar.
Okay, got an ice cream and a coffee, and we're off again. Do we get any boost?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot to check the state of charge, but the voltage went up with 0.4. So it really helps us now this last little bit.
0.4 just from 20 minutes?
Yep. Yeah, it goes up immediately when there's no consumption in the battery and it's only charging, so it boosts the voltage immediately.
Wow.
And it's really helpful for when we started to run quite low on battery. It's good to have a little bit extra.
After another few hours of cruising, the boat was still going, but Emil and I needed a refill. So Marcus was kind enough to swing by in his boat and drop off some snacks and supplies.
I need to get some gas for the start before they close.
Thank you, sir.
I know it might be needed at this.
Much appreciated.
Real tough.
So Marcus,
It was almost gone.
it's windy. So we got our coffee delivery, a couple of non-alcoholic beers, and little cinnamon rolls. We're still going. We have 11 miles left to go. We're at 3.9% battery. Still have good voltage, but it looks like we might actually run down to 0% and beyond. but we're gonna keep going, and we should definitely be able to make our 200 miles. So we'll see what happens. Well, we're still going, and we have 1.1% battery left according to this meter. But the interesting thing is, according to the boat's GPS, we have 200 miles, 200 nautical miles now. The Sensar Marine Tracker, because it updates every minute, it's kind of missing some of the distances when we make turns and whatnot. It just kind of, instead of the full turn, it just draws a straight line. So that's saying we have 191. So basically through this whole 5 days, we lost 9 miles of distance when you look at the difference. But we're still going to keep going to get basically the full 200 on the Sensar tracker. But the other interesting thing is, yeah, we're at 1%. It's probably going to go down to 0 fairly soon. But we still have voltage. We have 50.7 volts on a 48 volt system, which means we have a good amount of charge left in the battery. So it really shouldn't be an issue. We're going to keep going. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side of 200. 0.0. And
I'm still going.
50.4 volts.
50.4. Okay, but it's dropping quite fast.
Yeah. 50.4. Yeah, so it's showing 0.0. We're still moving, obviously. But I think we knew that it would because, this 48 volt battery, lithium iron phosphate battery, this kind of voltage, it still has power to push us forward. So we're still going. Well, we're still going, and we're actually below 48 volts now, 47.7, and we have like 2 miles left.
Yeah, about 2 miles left, and then we've done 210 nautical miles actually.
Yeah, here we're above 200. So it's 1 o'clock in the morning now, and we actually hit about 210 or 211 miles. We were trying to get the Sensar Marine Tracker to show 200, but we're very, very low in voltage now, 45.9. So we're probably going to just call it a night and head back to the trailer at the marina or at the boat ramp. But just a quick trip recap. We hit the number we wanted to, but that's not really the point of this trip. It was really for me to go have fun and go island hopping in Finland. And I saw a lot of cool stuff and beautiful places, and really enjoyed myself. And it was all possible due to the technology on this boat. So appreciate the chance to come out here and do this. And then as a bonus, we kind of hit our range challenge as well. So how was the trip for you?
Oh yeah, it's been a fantastic few days here, and like you said, the focus has been on going to beautiful places and just showing how this boat works in like real life circumstances, and hitting the target of 200, and actually, like you said, going 210 miles in total. That's just a nice little bonus that we can show from this. But it's been an amazing trip. I'm very happy that you have been here with us to document this.
Unforgettable for sure. And we have this kind of twilight, sunset, sunrise thing going on behind us, and just enjoying. And then we have this golden moon ahead of us. So it's just the beauty up here is unreal. Very happy to have come here and done this challenge.
Well, we made it. We took this battery and solar-powered boat and sailed it around the Finnish archipelago and covered more than 200 nautical miles without ever plugging in to charge. In fact, after looking at the numbers, we ended up using 51 kilowatt hours from a 30 kilowatt hour battery, which means we charged over 20 kilowatt hours from the sun alone. The best part to me is that we enjoyed ourselves, and the platform enabled us to have an unforgettable adventure in Finland. Thanks for joining us on the trip, and if you want to learn more about Elvene and their solar-powered boats, visit their website in the description below. I'm Justin with Aqua Electric. Thanks for watching.